So a couple weeks ago, I was out here in the garden watering, and I saw that one of my oleander bushes looked like this. We've been watering it, but I just couldn't tell if the yellowing of the leaves was normal or if it was under heat stress, maybe a nutrient deficiency, or even a dreaded disease. I needed answers, and I needed them fast. As a gardener, you know our number one job is to keep our plants happy and healthy. But whenever I see one of the plants stressed, it stresses me out as well. So normally when this happens, I would head over to Google, do a search like, why are my oleander leaves turning yellow? And I'd have to scroll through like 5 different blog posts, read through conflicting forums, and then dodge a million annoying pop-up ads, and then I just end up more confused than when I started. I wish there was a simple, free, and reliable way that I could diagnose problems in the garden. So this got me thinking. By day, I work as a technology teacher in a high school, and my students and I have been using advanced AI technology every day in our class. So I figured, if AI can create videos and write code, could it also help me here in the garden? So I tried it out. I put it to test on this exact oleander, and it saved the plant. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can download a free app on your phone, Google Gemini, and turn it into an instant on-call plant doctor. I'm breaking down the exact prompting framework I use to get localized, fast answers so you can save your plants and skip the Google search rabbit hole. That way we can get back to what we all love, which is gardening. I'm going to go ahead and get started using Gemini to help diagnose what's wrong with my oleander. I just couldn't tell what the problem was. Is it shallow watering? Maybe the heat reflecting from the wall? I'm just trying to figure out if I'm doing something wrong or what I could do to fix the situation. So in Gemini, the cool thing is that you can upload images from the camera on your phone and simply ask Gemini a question about the plant. And that's one of the advantages of using the chat function instead of just a Google search. I can ask specific follow-up questions, and you can actually have a conversation about the plant or the results that Gemini is giving to you. It's not just a one-way street with like a normal Google search. This is a two-way street where the AI is able to analyze your photo and give you real-time results. So here are a couple of quick pro tips. Make sure to take multiple photos. I usually suggest taking a wide shot of the plant and maybe a couple of close-ups around the leaves or even at the base. The more data that you give it, the better the results are going to be. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here I am. I'm going to go ahead and open Gemini app. And I like using the dictate function. This is where I'm speaking directly into the phone. I have stubby little fingers and it's hard for me to type quickly. So this is a really easy function to use. Hey Gemini, I have an oleander plant that I see some yellowing of leaves. Right now it's June and the temperature is about 100 degrees day in and day out. Can you give me some suggestions, analyzing a couple of photos in terms of what might be the problem with the plant, and offer me some suggestions that I might be able to use to help correct the problems that you might notice? So you go ahead and let the phone dictate. You press the plus button, go to your photo gallery, and then this is where I'm going to upload the wide shot and close-up from my photo collection. Takes a moment to upload, and then you simply hit the arrow, and let's see what it has to say. Oh wow, look at this right off the bat. Drought or watering stress. This is what I thought it could have been. When we have extreme heat, the ability to draw water from the soil, especially if the root system is not deeply established, could lead to those yellowing of the leaves. The leaves may yellow uniformly or along a central vein. Look at that specific information. It's awesome. Maybe a nutrient deficiency, kind of like I thought. Also, the depleted soil nutrients, nitrogen, potassium could also lead to that yellowing. And then leaf scorch burn, maybe a bacterial infection. Here's the money right now, the recommended next step. Check for soil moisture, dig down a few inches into the base, go into observation mode. After a thorough deep watering, observe the plant for a couple of days. Obviously monitoring for pests, I gotta go in and look for any sap-sucking insects like aphids, scale, or mites. And it also gives me some ideas in terms of how to manage a potential infection. I can use all that data to go back and do some additional research. And then here's the best part. This is where the conversation comes in. Are you noticing any specific patterns such as yellowing appearing in only one side of the branch or the plant? This is where I could go in and have an additional conversation to really zero in on what's wrong with the plant and how I can go about fixing it. But look, just uploading a photo and asking for a plant diagnosis, it just scratches the surface of the app's potential. If you want to stop guessing entirely, you can tell Gemini to look at your local gardening zone, and this is a game changer. Let me show you the hyperlocal data trick that I use next. One of the most important things to remember about using Gemini is that the plant doctor diagnosis is only the beginning. Once you get comfortable using it, it can help you with much more than just diagnosing plant problems. It can help you by suggesting which plants you should be planting in different locations based on the microclimates in your garden. It can also help you to plan your vegetable garden. It can also help you identify unknown plants, which is something that I use it for pretty often. But my favorite trick to maximize the AI and get the best results, I don't just ask generic questions. I am specific. If you tell Gemini your gardening zone or even your zip code, it will completely change the answers and give you hyper-localized results. Check it out. So I'm going to continue the conversation with the chat that I was just having. I'm going to ask another question. So Gemini, I'm currently in zone 8B in the Chihuahuan Desert. Can you help me to develop a watering schedule for my entire garden here during the month of June, where the temps are consistently over 100 degrees? Here I don't have to answer or upload any pictures, simply send the result. So here it's telling me I need to focus on efficiency and deep hydration. Here are some core watering strategies for extreme heat. It tells me bullet points, actionable, specific information. Now here's the best part. While specific needs vary plant by plant, you can use these general guidelines as a baseline for your June schedule. It tells me different plant types, and it gives me the watering frequency and the strategy that I should be focusing on in a quick little table that I can print and use as a guide. Here it also gives me some practical tips for success. As you refine your schedule, are you planning on using an automated system or primarily hand watering in your garden beds? I'm gonna be using hand watering for the most part. Is there any way that you can schedule a reminder to my phone that I can start using to water for a reminder? And this is the best part about it. Since it's part of the Google ecosystem, he sent me a reminder to help me remember to water every morning, and it's now listed here in my Google tasks. Now, our goal in this video was to take the stigma and apprehension out of using a new piece of technology and show you that it's really easy to use. We're all so used to Googling. This is just the natural evolution of that. It's fast, it's easy, it's customizable to your specific garden and location, and like I said before, free. But just because it's fast and free doesn't mean that we should follow it blindly. In fact, if you don't use this golden rule that I'm about to share next, you might actually be hurting your garden instead of helping it. Well, here's the most important part about this entire video. Gemini is not intended to replace anything related to your knowledge. It's only supposed to be a second opinion, not a replacement. This is not a replacement for our experience. This is not a replacement for your local extension office or any other trusted gardening resources. I like to think of it as a 24/7 second opinion that can help point me in the right direction. The real value comes from using it to narrow down my possibilities, identify patterns, and give me practical ideas to investigate further. So we're talking fast, free, and easy to use. Those are my 3 checks when it comes to something that I'm gonna use in the garden. Now, I know you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how much is it and how hard is it to set up? Well, that's the best part about this plant doctor. You probably already have access to it right now. The cool thing about Gemini is that it's free and you can download it from the App Store or Google Play, and you can use your existing Gmail account to log in. Simply download the Gemini app, sign in to your Gmail account, and you have a simple, easy to use plant doctor in the palm of your hand. Now, did you know that 75% of all email users in the United States already have a Gmail account? So being part of the Google ecosystem is definitely something that has its benefits. This works on Android and iPhones. Either way, you're good to go. And if you don't have a Gmail or a Google account, it's free and super easy to get as well. Now, these tips and tricks that you saw here today are not something you're gonna see on any other garden YouTube channel, because we found something that works for us and we wanted to share that info with everyone else. So one of the easiest ways to level up your garden this year is to start using Google Gemini to cut through the clutter of a traditional Google search. This will help you get specific, actionable suggestions that you can implement immediately. Now remember, this is only your second opinion. We're always going to be using our own knowledge base and trusted resources first, but this is just another tool in the toolbox to help us have a successful garden year in and year out. Now feel free to comment below if you encounter any problems starting Gemini on your device, and I'll answer any and all questions to help make this as simple as possible. It's just like I tell my students at school. This is not a replacement. It's simply a way to leverage the technology to help us be as successful as possible. So have fun using Gemini. This one is just the first in our series of gardening with AI videos. If you found this information helpful or still have questions, comment down below and let's have a conversation.